Hi everyone, this is the review for season 3 Deadwind that is currently playing on Netflix. So if you're interested in knowing whether Karppi, who is the female lead cop in the show, will she get a closure on her husband's death, stay tuned. We want to give an unbiased review on Deadwind. Season 3 is available on Netflix. I've seen season 1, season 2, and for those who don't know what Deadwind is, it is a Finnish crime drama investigative series show, and it is starring Pihla Viitala in the main lead. She goes by the name of Sofia Karppi in the show. The show actually in the Finland language is the name Karppi, the last name of Sofia, but in English it is Deadwind. Also giving support to Sofia Karppi is Sakari Nurmi. That's the name of this guy in the show. These both are cops, and his real name is Lauri Tilkanen. So I watched this show in Finnish subtitles. That's what I like when I'm watching a local cultural international cinema. I like to watch it in the language that the people speak, just to get the idea, the flow of the culture, etc. What is the season 3 all about? In the initial scene, you will see that there is a body that's found in a empty warehouse. This person who is naked is in a cage, and there are marks, some kind of a cult sign behind in the back. And Nurmi is the one who arrives first on the scene. Of course, he gets a call from his cops. He's a detective, and in this season he is driving a Porsche. The last 2 seasons he had a BMW, so this is a big change in terms of what he's driving to work. And he finds this person, a lady who is the head of a division in a pharmaceutical company that is working on a medicine that's going to cure drug addiction of homelessness people. And he wants to bring in Karppi to investigate this matter. So Nurmi talks to his boss, and he gets the approval. Now Karppi has no longer been staying in the city for a long time now. She is in a remote island off the coast of Finland with her father, with her son. So Nurmi, goes and visits Karppi, and he explains that, this is what's happened. He needs help. So he convinces Karppi to come back, and then, that's when this bond between them, it gets together about, trying to unravel what is happening. One after the other, there are murders happening in the city. There is a lot of finger pointing happening as to who's murdering. So for example, the immediate suspect in this case, when the first person is found, is her son, who lives, on a boat. And when the cops go to him, he's shooting at the cops. They get hurt, and this guy, escapes. But then the son also, at some point, he gets murdered in a boat. So you immediately know that this is not where it's going to stop. This is a typical Deadwind show where there's a lot of mystery, there is a lot of dark drama, and one after the other events are unfolding, and they try to investigate what goes on. So the son is dead, and the person he visits, that person is dead too. And behind the scenes, this cultness keeps growing. The guy who is the murderer, he is killing people, he's hanging them, or he just leaves them in a state where they will eventually die. But they all have this cult sign, which is kind of a cross sign on people, either on their back, either on their face, and so on. And one thing that is interesting about this is, as the story unfolds, around the center part, I would say on the 5th or 6th episode, Karppi gets a call from someone in Germany. This is a cop calls her and speaks in English and says that they have found someone who murdered or killed the husband of Karppi. And this is something that was touched in season 1 and season 2. Karppi is now a single mother. She has got 2 kids. One of the kids is also involved in some nefarious acts, which was shown in season 2. She killed someone, and then the cops now want a favor for her, and they tell the eldest child of Karppi to go and sniff for them, get involved in a gang and give information. The son is younger. So going back to her husband's death, so there is definitely a connection between this. And what the director has wanted to show in Deadwind season 3 is that while they're trying to investigate that pharmaceutical murder that happens, the team lead whose body was discovered, somehow there is a connection between the head of the pharmaceutical company, the director, and how they got in touch with Karppi's husband, and then they were sent to Germany. That's where he got murdered. It really wasn't sure. Karppi never knew what happened to her husband until this case happened, and she figures out in the end that this is how her husband died. They did have a lot of fights. Karppi and her husband were not having a good time. He leaves the house, but when he leaves the house, somewhere he meets someone else, and then he gets killed due to a racing car on a highway. So I think the director definitely wanted to have a closure in the story. As someone who has seen the third season now, I also wanted to understand what really is happening, and if there was a connection between her husband's death or not. So that happens here. And then the killer is, of course, he's a smart guy. He's killing a lot of people. He leaves the cult sign. Anyone who is in touch with that heroin, the use of drug, that's what he wants to do. At some point, Nurmi is also in danger. He's the cop who is assisting Karppi, and this killer goes to his home and sets up a bomb there so that when Nurmi arrives, the whole apartment blows off. So this is a deep, dark mystery. Season 1, season 2, you didn't see as much as this kind of intensity where there were times when both their lives were in danger, but now you feel that he's not even leaving a cop, and the killer wants to kill Nurmi. And the final scene, you do see that Karppi ends up killing Nurmi. She shoots him because the killer has held the son of Karppi hostage, and that is something unbelievable to me. I almost thought that this was the end of Nurmi in the scene, but eventually, I don't want to give any spoiler alerts, but things will unfold for you. So I think that's the overall, high level, my overview of the plot and how it unfolds. This is definitely happening in between suburbs. There is this stuff happening in the city. So overall, the chemistry between Karppi and Nurmi is really good. I think you can see that they naturally blend into the character and the performances. One thing that's interesting here is that Nurmi finds herself more attracted to Nurmi this time. I mean, Nurmi was the one who wanted to have a relationship with Karppi in season 1, season 2, but he didn't get that vibe. But in this, it's the other way. And Karppi plays a brilliant cop. She's a single mother. She's smart. She's intelligent, witty. She can solve cases very quickly. People rely on her. She's active with 2 kids. But overall, I think she really fits in that role very well. And Karppi has also acted in a couple of Hollywood films with Jeremy Renner. There was a movie that came several years ago, so that's what I found out. There are some Finnish actors that are also employed in Hollywood. But overall, when you talk about the story, you might think this is a usual crime detective series, but you have to have some patience when you watch a European international cinema, especially in their language. You have to look at the subtitles, which that's going to give you a lot of meat and information of how the directors think, how the story unravels, how they bring together different pieces to create this engaging story. I was guessing till the end what was happening, and the plot is good in my opinion. It is intense, from a Scandinavian point of view. You see a lot of American shows, but over there too, there is something, you can see something that is brilliant. So definitely a must-watch, guys, and I can't wait to see season 4. There are twists happening in the season 3, which I think is more than season 1 and season 2. When you look at the title song of Deadwind, it definitely has this deep, dark meaning. People are, looking lonely, they're staring somewhere out, and the capture of that facial expressions, it tells you a lot about, what the show is about. There are personal challenges, there are professional challenges too when it comes to Deadwind, and that's beautifully captured here. All the camera work, whether it is, the blue imaging, whether it is the visuals inside the car, outside, whether it is, covering the snow-covered landscape of Finland, because this is the time when it's cold. Somehow all the 3 seasons have been shot in the cold. It's not summer, so I don't know why that is the case, but it is still a beautiful city in Helsinki. You can see the whole backdrop, whether it's day, whether it is night. That's about it from my side, guys. I highly recommend you to watch Deadwind season 3. It's available on Netflix, and if I had to give a rating on it, I would give it 8.5 out of 10. So stay tuned for more updates. If you've watched Deadwind, let me know what you thought about it. If you liked this review video, please give it a like, a thumbs up, or you want to subscribe to the channel so that next time when I do more review videos, you're gonna know instantly.